Uh, Before I start to give some kind of speech, I would like to introduce University of Dar es Salaam. It was starting from the very simple education from primary education in 1926, 2 years after the collapse of Ottoman. And the spirit of this establishment is also to revive the Muslim Ummah, because we see that Indonesia was colonized by the Dutch and by the Spain, and we were very poor in hundreds of years under the colonization. So this education institution developed gradually until 2014 we become universities. Before in 1963 it became institute with small faculties. Now we become universities. University with faculties, 8 faculties, but our student is very limited because we apply the boarding system in our university where the students live in dormitory and they have to say the prayer 5 times in the campus and they have to stay with us and intermingle with the teachers for 24 hours. So this is a type of what we call pondok or pesantren in our bahasa. I think like a madrasah or Imam Hatib in Turkey is very similar. This is the tradition in Islamic world. And nowadays we develop our university, and fortunately we have the same vision and mission with the Sabahaten University, and of course we are Waqf University. Al-Ustadz University is Waqf University, and fortunately the rector of IZU also expert on this regard, and we would like to collaborate, of course. I would like to set back from our beginning where colonialization become the problem of Muslim Ummah with the idea of scholarization, separating education from Islamic teaching with the secular sciences. We also solve this problem from our beginning, the beginning of our school in secondary level. We also solve the problem of this dichotomy between science and religion. So we teach the student from 1936 science and religion. The students at that time study mathematics, physics, biology. Also they study tafsir, hadith, and fiqh, and so many other religious sciences. And of course, the idea is this: to let the student know that Islam is not only a religion in the sense of theology. Islam is also science, and we have our heritage in the last that Islam developed philosophy, Islam developed science, developed economy. We also developed politics and so many things related to the worldly affair that always related to religion. So our seminar actually is responding this kind of challenge against the Muslim Ummah. And the idea of Islamization of contemporary knowledge is closely related to the problem of secularism. You know, knowledge developed due to or based on the worldview. Knowledge developed based on ideology. Knowledge was developed by culture and basic belief. The Western people believe on secularism, separation between religion and science. And therefore, there is no religion in science and no science in religion. So this is the position of Western civilization in nowadays situation. We want to solve this, and we have to say that Islam is religion and civilization, where we talk about science based on religion. And fortunately, the idea of Waqf is in fact the integration between Islamic teaching with the social life. So we cannot separate social life with religion, contrary to the West. In the West, if you talk about the public issues, no way you to talk about religion. If you talk about public affair, you have no right to talk about religion. Because religion in the West, nothing to do with the public life. But Islam is the religion that related to the personal life and social life, and also in a larger sense, civilizational life. So today, I think it would be very fruitful when we talk about how to deal with this science that was developed in Western civilization, which is based on secularism and humanism also. Islam is the religion that respects humanity, but we are not religion that only focus on humanity, but we also focus on humanity, morality, religious tenet, and so many things. That Islam is a religion with holistic concept where life, individual life, social life, political life, economic life is integrated in one system. So I would like to appreciate also the orientation, the vision of this university with the leadership of Professor Hamid, were developing the idea of wakaf based on Ottoman tradition. Is the only thing that we can back to the past. Ottoman is the last Muslim power where politics and economic and education are intermingled, integrated in one concept. And we have to assume that nothing can develop in Islam without the basis of our Sharia. And of course, we believe that in the Ottoman period, economic and Sharia is the thing that we cannot separate. Nowadays, we have the problem with the moderate. I think there will be one other issue about this. The term moderate is the term that has been occupied by the Western meaning. You know, the Western civilization nowadays is not the modern Western civilization, but this is postmodern Western civilization where you cannot talk about the truth. Truth is very relative. So in the West, nowadays, nobody can talk about the absolute truth, where religion is there. The truth can be depend on anybody or every head of the people. So they are playing with this term, moderate Muslim. They symbolize with the idea of wasatiyah. Islam is the religion in the middle between the excessive believing or worshipping God like Christianity and the religion that mostly oriented to materialism. Islam is in the middle. Islam is also the religion that's the way we live in between, living in the world and the hereafter. So Islam is religion which has the balance between life in the world and hereafter. So we also have the balance between the rationalism or rationalistic thinking and the scripture. This is what we call ummatan wasatan. We are the people who are in the middle of the extreme, two extreme. But in the West nowadays, people don't talk about the truth because they say the truth and the false have the same level. So if you talk the truth, somebody else can say that, can judge that the truth can be false. This is very bad for us. Relativism and the idea of postmodernism now become the idea of moderation. And what is moderate according to the Western civilization? The moderate Muslim are those believe in humanism. The moderate Muslim are those who believe that the Prophet is not the person to emulate. Moderate Muslim are those people who anti-Sharia. So the term has been occupied by the meaning that the Western people say about that. So we have to avoid this. Therefore, we have to back to our basic teaching, what is meant by wasatiyah, what is meant by Sharia, what is meant in Islam by the word belief, iman. So we have to be committed to the trilogy of Islam, that is Sharia, Aqidah and Akhlaq, Islam, Iman and Ihsan. And then we have to apply this in our civilization. Because when you commit to the Sharia, you say the 5 times prayer, doing Hajj, doing fasting and so on. So, and you believe in God, and you believe in God, you implement, you believe in God in the society, and then when you believe in God, of course, you become a good man. Because believing and action is one thing. Believing and saying is one action. So, in Islam, the act, the speech, the feeling, the thought should be oriented to our belief in God. Therefore, Islam is the peaceful religion. Islam is the religion of peace. And therefore, I think we don't have the issue of moderation. We are in Indonesia facing this kind of accusation that Muslims are terrorists, Muslims are fundamentalists, and against the Republic, against the peaceful words. This is nothing. This is nonsense. The good Muslim never do bad thing for humanity and for any other human being. So we believe, I think we have the same vision here to create our future based on our history and our legacy. And I think Turkey has very rich legacy, and we have to learn much from this country, and we have to learn much about our future economic. And I believe that Waqf is the only system that can face the system of capitalism. And we in Indonesia, our university have collaborated with the Central Bank of Indonesia to develop the Waqf system. And I think we have to learn much from Your Excellency. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.